mid 19th century.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
18 whatever. So is that during, like, the Manifest Destiny where they opened up the, um,
Yeah,
borders
okay, but
of
look, it's just a common knowledge. The majority of Americans,
they were
up
giving
until
away land, right? Because they wanted Americans on what was previously
yes,
French
yes,
and
yes. So
Spanish
just throughout the
and English
history,
soil.
America just had huge amounts of land compared to
Right.
Europe. So a
And
lot of
so
people were able to own
okay,
land.
so now so mid 19th century, so mid 1800s, you have somebody who's, got a cotton plantation. They're not wealthy enough to own slaves, which most Americans were not.
Mhm.
Only a small fraction were.
Yeah, and they
So
probably wouldn't have
now
a
now
province
now
to
you
speak of.
have to sell your cotton
No,
at
not
a
cotton.
slave
They
wage
would, I mean,
rate.
maybe some cotton, but like they would grow their own food and like, their own, they would grow like, maybe like flax or cotton or
R
whatever for their own
right,
clothes. And maybe they would sell some of the surplus they had on the market. And
right.
generally, they would
But
have a
would
modest
you
living.
okay, so again, you would say that these people in order to pay their taxes and so on and so
Yeah.
forth, these people have to generate income, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really like taxes back then. I'm not sure, like,
Didn't
they were
exist?
pretty low.
But
Like,
okay,
there wasn't really, no,
so
no, no,
let's
wait, there
say
wasn't even an income tax back then. I mean, the income tax only came in much later. Like, you
like
have like
1950s, I
tariff.
think.
Huh?
Okay, so they don't have an income tax, but they
Yeah.
do have some sort of, like, land tax and goods
No
tax
land
or
tax. Not really
no land
anything.
tax, okay.
Basically, back in the day, you had tariffs.
Right,
Like when you import foreign goods, like okay, then you have to pay a certain tax, and that's like the majority of American revenue. Like you might have to like pay for stamps if you're mailing a letter. Um, but
right, but
that's basically.
you're saying you didn't have to pay, like,
Oh, and excise taxes when you export to a foreign country, right?
right.
You have to like pay a tax on certain
But
goods. I
but
mean,
so you're saying that, landowners didn't who aren't selling anything, they don't pay taxes, right? They live
yeah,
tax-free.
no, I'm pretty sure they didn't. Yeah.
I don't think that that's true. Um,
The income tax was only made constitutional via constitutional amendment during the Progressive era.
I'm
So the
saying,
income
like,
tax didn't
property
exist.
so it was there when did because property taxes existed, a very long time.
Maybe at like the state level, but again, like
Right. So,
what
okay, so
taxes,
you
what
do need to generate
taxes
income, correct? A
would need
normal
to be paid? I mean, maybe the state would have some kind of
right.
program, but
I
would need
know
to
that
be
they did.
paid in 19th century by farmers. I mean, let's see here.
Do you guys mind if I just quickly ask, is
Yeah, they did
this
not pay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
yeah, I
so
was just wondering if this is a strictly 1v1 thing.
No, help yourself.
yeah. What would you like to say?
I'm kind of round in the corner on this. I have other projects I need to work on. So, yeah, feel free to ask away while I'm available.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, I'm not a vegan. I guess Oliver K is, and
Correct.
like I'm kind of
Yeah,
late to the party or something. Um,
yeah.
I've been listening for about I don't know, maybe 45 minutes or so,
Okay.
and what I've heard so far from you isn't anything that could be an argument for veganism. What I've heard is an argument against factory farming, against sorry, what's the name? Red Wild.
Against what?
Against Red
Red.
Wild, the other guy that you're talking to.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
Me.
sorry. This has been like a
Yeah.
multi-hour conversation. So
Yeah, I
like
can see
the
it.
last
Yeah,
45 minutes, we've kind of been diverging a
yeah,
little
that's
bit.
fine. Yeah, sure.
Um, but yeah, essentially, like the veganism case is pretty simple. I mean, I just think it's like not really ethical to like kill animals in general. They can't really consent to it, and it like creates suffering, right? Um, and like maybe you can get around this somehow, but it's just like if you look at like even
Well, I
a
mean,
lot of like
it's
the
just not veganism, is it? Because like you don't have to kill animals in order to not be vegan.
I mean like but this is just like such a tiny case. Like if you're talking about like, oh, eating an animal carcass once it dies, like like I'm talking about like like I mean, I just
Yeah,
think
but
it's wrong to eat
that's the
flesh.
bar that you've got to meet, though, isn't it? I mean, you seem like a really nice guy. Don't get me wrong. I've been listening to you guys.
I mean, do you
But like
buy like
that's the
meat from the
problem.
store? Do you
No,
buy meat from the store?
no,
No, you don't buy meat from the store.
no.
You don't buy milk from the store. Any animal products from the store.
Correct.
I mean, at that point, like you're basically vegan. Like you buy it at restaurants.
No.
I mean, I feel like you're basically there then. Like I'm not going to be
Yeah,
that
but like,
concerned.
is eating meat a vegan compatible action to
I
you?
mean, it can't. I think I could argue like, yeah, it can be. It's just I think you know. I
Yeah, but
mean,
then you
I
just
feel like
got this sort of watered down version of veganism then that like isn't
I mean,
going to
like
be super
here's what I
interesting.
would say, right? I mean, I can see where you're coming from. I just feel like you wouldn't eat a human, right, if they died, like, and they consented to
Are
being
you
eaten.
asking me or telling me?
I'm asking you.
I don't know if I would. I mean, it's not exactly on my to-do list, but it's not strictly prohibited either. I mean, people do this, right? You must be aware of
Well, in
situations
dire
in history.
situations, yeah.
Yeah.
I think even the hardest core veganism would accept most, or at least a lot of them would accept, like, okay, if you are like on a stranded island and like, you know a rescue team is coming within like, a day, but like you're about to starve to death. It's like, can you eat like a, meat? They would probably say yes,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
right. I agree that it would be sensible to do that in order to preserve your life and other people's lives or whatever.
Yeah.
But is it
Uh-huh.
vegan to do that? Because vegans
I
don't
mean,
eat meat, right?
yeah, I mean, I think it's just like honestly, like if you want to say like, I mean, veganism is about avoiding the exploitation of animals as far as necessary or as far as practical.
Practical and possible. You're using the
Yes,
vegan society definition. Yeah, fine.
yeah. So like, I mean, that's kind of like the line, right? Like, I mean,
So,
I
so,
don't
so
really.
do vegans eat meat then?
I mean, I guess yeah, they could like, and
Oh
theoretically,
man.
what?
Well, look, I'm not trying to make fun of you. Like, again, you seem like a really nice guy. Genuinely, you do.
I mean,
But
I'm not trying to like
if
dogmatically
you're gonna
defend.
take away, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
Sorry, if I'm not gonna like dogmatically defend, like if someone like points a gun to my head and says, "Oh, you have to eat meat," or I'm gonna like blow up the world,
Yeah,
right? Like, of course I'm gonna like eat the thing, right? It's
that
more
that's
about like
that's
sense,
fine. I would like everybody would understand why you did that, but would it be vegan to do that?
practical and possible. That's all I'd have to say, right? Like, it's not really. I mean, if you're gonna like have a
So
semantic
you don't
argument,
want to
like I
give a
guess I'm
yes or
not a
no?
vegan then. I'm a
Hey,
I'm a sentient.
I didn't define it. You did.
I mean, I just don't really think like this is that interesting to me personally. Like, I mean, this is just like a name game. Like, I would just say, like, look, I'm a vegan. I would define vegan as like someone who, I would define the practical and possible element to mean like, okay, you don't have to,
Yeah, so
endure
just
great
like Red
hardship.
Wild did over the last 45 minutes, then he's been describing how it's not practical or possible for him.
Well, I
So
disagree. I mean, for him
is he
personally,
vegan then? I mean, it doesn't sound
Um,
like it.
I mean, I just don't think I would have. I just don't think like economic hardship meets the bar for me personally to have the practical or possible. Because like he lives in a first world country, right? He's not going to like starve to death
Oh,
if he. Hmm?
you don't know his personal circumstances any more
I
than he
actually do. I know he
explained
lives in the
them.
United States because we've chatted over like text.
Okay, so you guys know each other or something that like okay, that's
Not
fine,
really.
right? But
They don't know each other like personally, but I know he lives in the United States, and I know the United States has like food, kitchens, and like
yeah, but you've got
sorts of.
practical and possible, or practicable, I should say,
I mean,
and
look, if you're
possible
gonna
in
like
there.
torture me on like the
I'm not.
vagueness. If you're gonna really like dive down and say like, well, practical and possible, it's not like a clearly defined legal standard. Like, how can I apply this? Like, sure, there's some ambiguity in what people would say. I think if you got 99 vegans in a room, though, they're all gonna agree, like, just economic hardship does not apply here, right? Like,
So you don't think that you're talking about economic hardship. So if
yeah,
it's cheaper to buy meat than it is to buy vegetables, which is a very plausible scenario. I mean, I
yeah,
don't know
I'm
if you
saying it
can.
does not apply. Like, economic is not an excuse, right? Like, being the avoiding animals as far as practical and possible, right? Like, as far as practical and possible means like, I will not eat meat unless if not doing so will lead to like immediate death or serious physical harm to myself or others.
Well, what about someone who does what I do then?
What you do,
Yeah.
I mean, practical or possible. I mean, I guess like, I mean, I would say like you're not vegan, but like I'm not ethically
But I
like
haven't
that.
told you what I do.
You said you don't eat meat at
No, I
in
didn't.
restaurants. You don't buy it from the
Yeah,
store.
you asked me if I purchased it, and that's correct. I don't. Yeah.
That's basically all I need to know. If you're like hunting, I mean, yeah, I guess like that's not great. But like,
What if I'm a pest controller who controls the pests that would otherwise decimate the crops that you want to buy, and I eat them
yeah, I think that's
afterwards?
perfectly
What about that?
reasonable.
Is it
Yep, I'm
vegan?
fine with that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad you think it's reasonable. That's good,
yep.
right? But
I think it's vegan too because like people need that to survive. Some they need to eat food.
okay,
Like
so
that's
I
pretty.
can be vegan and eat as much meat as I want then, basically, is what you're saying.
No, because you
Why
can
not?
get non-vegan food, or you can get vegan food very affordably. Meet all your dietary restrictions.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I can also shoot the pests, which you just agreed is okay, and eat
Yes,
them.
but again, this is necessary for like critical food production. If you do not do that, people will go hungry.
Correct. Yeah, that's the end like conclusion if you wanted to push it, but you're not pushing it. So why did you object when I said I can eat as much meat as I want as long as I go about obtaining it in that way?
Taking it in what way?
Shooting it in the head on purpose.
Um, I mean, I would just say like you don't really need to do that. You inflict unnecessary suffering, and you can
I
get your
wait,
uh,
dude. Hang on.
huh?
I didn't say
What?
anything about unnecessary Sorry, is my audio bad or something?
No. I mean, I just think getting shot in the head is not a pleasant experience.
Well, okay, how would you prefer that I deal with the pests that you've just agreed need to be dealt with in order to
Oh,
produce the
okay. Shoot.
crops?
Okay, so you're saying you eat the pests that you kill for your job
Yeah, well, it's not my job, but yeah.
or your farm or whatever.
Mm.
I mean, like I feel like we're kind of splitting hairs here. Like I think
Well,
you could
not
probably
really. We're
you could argue that's
asking.
vegan. Yes, you could argue that's vegan. I think you can argue that
You
it's vegan.
could,
I
but
mean,
it would look silly because what do you think? Like, if you were to ask most people, like, you could ask them two questions, right? You could say, question one is, hey, have you ever heard of veganism? And I think most people are going to say yes, right?
mhm.
And then to those who say yes, the second question you could ask them is, hey, tell me something about veganism or vegans, whatever, right? Something to that effect. And the number one answer you're going to get, and you
Is they
know
don't eat meat.
this,
Yes.
they don't eat meat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, look, I think, yeah, the contemporary definition is, or like the common view of veganism, I think is a little bit inaccurate, or like maybe I wouldn't defend that because there are obviously cases where I think any reasonable person would decide to eat meat. Like again, like the psychopath who was like, I'm going to, blow up the building if you don't eat this, salami. So like, yeah, I guess in that sense, I wouldn't defend that like narrow form of veganism. But I would think, on the other hand, I think the vast majority of products that people eat are not this way. And like the vast majority of animal products are
What do you
produced
mean?
in an unethical manner. So, like I just think we're kind of talking. It's kind of like the whole like do you oppose murder? Yes. And it's like, well, what if it's, a psychopath who's trying to run towards you? And it's like, well, I don't really support that. And okay, what's the redefine murder
Yeah,
to?
but
But then it's,
it wouldn't be murder then. It would be something like self-defense, presumably,
yeah, but
right?
these
So
distinctions are all kind of man-made, right? Like I'm just redefining veganism
as are
to,
all terms. I
huh?
mean, as are
What?
all terms.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, okay, if you wanna dogmatically